Oil colors always felt very distant to me. Like, you know, something only professionals would use. I mean, compared to watercolors or acrylics, you even need a painting medium, white spirit or turpentine. What even is all that? So today I want to find out. Is oil painting really as hard and complicated as I expected? Or could it actually become my new next favorite medium? But before we can start painting, let's get into the unboxing and see what we actually need. Alright guys. Okay, so here we have my order for my oil journey. And let's unbox them. So first of all, let's start with some calm things, you know. And here we have something that's not oil related, and that is acryl or acryl. So that was actually it with the acrylic stuff in that package, because the whole rest is related to oil painting. And it's not even everything yet. So there is still something missing, like especially my Cecil is missing, and I hope that it arrives tomorrow so I can paint tomorrow with you guys. Now let's go into the oil. So here I would say is our iPhone. You know, like those unboxings, those tech unboxings. Like this is the iPhone and this is like the charger and everything. So first of all, let's start with the pencils that I bought for my oil journey. It says oil acryl, and in my opinion they look pretty great, especially because of the wooden glow. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. By the way guys, I'm sorry if I don't look at you guys, that I'm a little bit focused right here, because as I said, here is a camera here. It's something new. Let me take it in my hands. A beautiful pencil. If you want to check it out, it's called Da Vinci. I mean, you have it right here. So here my pencils, it's the Da Vinci 5103. Obviously not a sponsored video. That were our first pencils. And here we have something I didn't even knew it existed. Honestly, I asked ChatGPT what I need for art, and he told me I also need this pencil soap. And I am really excited how this will turn out, or you know, how this will impact my pencils at all. That truly wasn't expensive, like I think €2 each. You know, I bought two, one for acrylic, one for oil. Here we go to the next thing, and here we have the gesso, white gesso, and it's already half empty. Okay, here we have the Van Beek, I think it's called like paint knife. I'll be honest guys, that was also one of those items I was the most excited about, like no joke. Why? Because I don't have anything to mix at home. I don't have, like, of course you can use theoretically anything, but you know, to now have precisely something to use, it's pretty great. So now let's get to the highlight, and now let's also get this bad boy away. Okay, so here we have it, and by the way, as you can see, here is the soap and everything. I will put everything away so it doesn't annoy that much. But I'm also so excited to see how those new acrylic colors look, and as I said, those are now my most expensive ones that I had. And as I said, €6 like each. Yeah. But here we have our Van Gogh oil color kit. I think that set was like €50, and that is, I think, pretty great actually, because what I saw is that you get a wooden box, plus you get this many oil colors, plus you know that other stuff that we will see in a second. Now let's open this box. As you can see, it stays open, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing actually. Okay, so now here we have the oil set, and it looks a lot smaller than I expected. Honestly, it's all, I think, 40 each. And here we have, like, you know, two like little containers, you know, to, I think, fill up those liquids. And about those liquids, I have no idea what that is. As I said, it's my first oil step. I don't know how to say it. It's my first steps into the oil world. And yeah, painting medium, as I said, no idea. And here we have Audeless White Spirit. Okay, so here we have also a, how do you say it in English? A towel. No, not a towel, but you know. Let's open it right away. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. I think it feels like, it looks like, you know. Yeah, nothing special. I think I don't even will use that. And here two brushes, 10 and 6, Van Gogh. So let's see what we can do with this. I hope I didn't destroy anything, but I hope, yeah. Yeah, I definitely like that little, how do you call it in English? I don't know, Koffer in German. Okay, so for you it will be 1 second, it will be 1 cut. For me it will be tomorrow. I hope tomorrow the season will come and we can do our first oil painting. I'm so excited already. So guys, as you can see, the Cecil is now set it up. And don't be wondering that I am now commenting and the time lapse that you see was the time lapse because my mic didn't connect it to the camera. And don't be wondering if I, you know, talk a little bit awkwardly or a little bit, you know, not that loud, a little bit more silence. You know, not that loud because I'm so cringing and I'm so awkward because of my neighbors and there is one in the window. It's so cringe. The first thing that we're gonna do is to thin the background and yeah, let's see what we can do. So the first thing that I will take out here is, you know, this little thing here, and I will definitely buy a bigger one because that is, I don't know, let's just see. And now let's try to clip it on this right here, but it's it's honestly not that easy. Okay, all right, here we have it, and doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look that bad so far. Like my first step was, you know, to grab the oil and then, you know, I put it in the spirit. And now I think I will just add more and more spirit to it. Now let's go over the whole thing. Okay, it doesn't look good. Let's just go over the whole thing and hope that we will end up with something okay. Okay, so now let's get the color that we actually want. And I would say let's start with this. And that's, by the way, my first time actually using this tool in my hand. So now we take the red. Okay, so now we actually got a kind of brownish color. We definitely need a little bit of yellow to it. So let's start here again. So now let's start with the actual cup. But I made it, I think, definitely way too white. Okay, but as you can see, it looks very rough. Okay, but I'm be honest, guys, it actually doesn't look that bad anymore. Like, I think we are actually getting somewhere with this. Okay, so here we are with the first stage, and I'm be honest, I really enjoy drawing oil so far because you can literally, like now, for example, I can still make changes here. And that is actually, in my opinion, especially for someone who drew with acrylic the last days or weeks, it's a whole shift, definitely. I would say let's get into the next step. Okay, so now let's get our black for the background. We should get a very desaturated purple, and now let's just add yellow into that. Okay, so now let's go, as we said, for the background, and that's actually pretty black. And I'm actually also very excited to see how long it will take to dry. And now, for example, I'm just making sure that the whole background is actually dark and, you know, not, for example, a very dark brown or something. But I actually like that here and there a little bit of reddish is shining through it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Okay, so here we are now with the background, but I'm be honest, here and there are still like little parts that are shining through it that I don't like. Okay, so now it got actually very cold. So as you can see, I put my sweater on, but it's such a mess, like oil painting, it's so crazy. Okay, so now we continue. And I just learned that yellow and blue is green. But in this case, we want a pretty dark green. So we will just add a little bit of blue into that. And I do pretty much the same technique as the paint coat. That means that I start with the darker values and then slowly but surely go into the lighter ones. Okay, and now I will actually try something, and that is I will add just white to that color, and let's see if we can manage it right. That color right here, just like that. Alright, so here we are back with our painting from yesterday. You know, for you guys it's some seconds ago. And today, guys, I have even gloves because yesterday it was such a mess. Like when I went inside, literally everything I touched was colored. Yeah, but here we have the painting, and I'm be honest, guys, I'm still not sure if it's dry or not, because like it was the whole time outside, like over the night and the whole day. and now like it's afternoon, so yeah, but I truly don't want to touch it. I don't want to risk it. But today we will continue this drawing and let's see how it goes. Okay, but I think we will let it go like this because I can't really improve anything right now. Okay, so now we are going to, you know, put lighter shapes and colors on those things. Oh my god, it's actually raining, guys. I have to make the safe plan, guys. But you know what? I think I will just paint here. So, as you can hear, guys, it actually started to rain. But nevertheless, I will still continue the painting. And as we can see, the red is not the yellow from the egg. And yeah, let's just see how we can fix that. Okay, let's just see. My only goal is to, you know, to desaturate this color. And oh my god, I just realized that we can go back. Okay, so now let's place here, you know, the darker red. But now the oil journey will, like, now I feel like it's getting hard. Because whatever I place on the canvas, it doesn't look like, because it's always mixing with each other, you know, because it's not dry yet. Alright, so now what I want to do is to draw like the opening of this cup. I think that's the wrong brush for what I'm doing here. With this brush you can definitely put the oil thicker onto the canvas and you can make like those cleaner lines, but I'm still not that confident to do them. Alright guys, so as you can see, I really messed up here, this highlight and those highlights, because it wasn't dry. And now we will color this fruit right here. Okay, so here we are at the last day, hopefully the last day, but I think honestly it will be the last day. And also I want to emphasize that that is also only a study, as I said, my first oil painting. But today we definitely want to finish those both fruits, and I definitely want also to fix this highlight right here because I really don't like it at all. First of all, again, the gloves. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to actually carve in the cup a little bit. And as you can see, I make the whole background now darker because as you can see the color here got darker as planned, but that's not that bad because I will just make the whole background on that side a little bit darker, you know, so it doesn't look that off. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with the result here, but I will definitely have to go with the red again over here, or maybe I can carve that in. Let's just see, because I will definitely try that. Okay, and as you can see, I'm always struggling to put my arm somewhere or to rest my arm somewhere. Okay, so my camera didn't record it when I drew this pier, but as you can see, I tried to change that color. And by the way, don't be wondering that I wear a hat now. The sun is burning way too hard now. Okay, so now I will fix those edges here, because as you can see, they are still dark, but they shouldn't be dark. You know, guys, what I will try, it just came into my mind, and that is I will try to use my palette knife and that for the highlights. I will try it. But I'm be honest, guys, it actually works pretty decent with the palette knife. Like, it's of course a little bit different in comparison to the brushes. And now I will try to smudge this a little bit. For that I'm gonna use a dry brush. And guys, look what happened to that color that I put on. It looks completely different than when I put it on. Like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's a really grayish kind of tone instead of, you know, that what we want. And yeah, I need to go over that. But here the close-up, I think for a study, it's definitely okay. Of course, here we have, but it's okay. So in conclusion, it was way easier than I expected. And honestly, I wished I started way earlier. I once heard a funny quote that went something like, if you want to get good with painting with oils, you have to forget that you are even working with them. And I kind of understand that now. I was also worried about the long drying time, but that actually turned out to be the exact opposite problem. I also think oil colors just look beautiful on the canvas. The shine, the texture, the way it catches light. If you enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me a lot and means a lot to me. See you in the next one, and peace out.